So if you follow me on Instagram, then you know already that I am engaged, and I've been engaged since earlier this year, and I've been meaning to do this video for a while, but I keep forgetting, and I don't know, I keep waiting for that right moment when I can film, and that has not really happened until now. So you guys know, I think I mentioned in an earlier video that I was in a relationship and have been having an awesome time in that relationship, and it's been amazing, blah 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 blah. And so yeah, now I'm engaged. So Morgan and I have been talking about getting married since probably around the time we met, so like maybe 2 months into our relationship kind of thing. So it's not something new in that regard, so it's not like completely out of the blue that I was like, oh my god, he's proposing to me, how? I was not expecting it. It's not like that, like surprisey, right? It's more that so he, over the previous month or two before that, before the proposal, he would, like, we got my ring size sized up. He'd passively ask me questions about ring shapes or designs that I like, or things like that. So it was like it was a process. But to be quite honest, I actually thought that it would happen later than it ended up happening, meaning in terms of the proposal. I didn't expect it to happen as soon as it happened. Nonetheless, how it happened was, like, I remember one night when Morgan was like, yeah babe, we should go hang out with your mom. We should go visit Amai today. He calls my mom Amai, which means mom in my language. So we should go visit Amai today. And then I said, yeah, okay, well that's kind of weird, but sure. It wasn't super weird because we'd previously been talking about how we should hang out more with my mom. And so I felt like maybe it's to me, in my mind, it was tied to that conversation. What was weird about it, I think, was like, it was a Thursday. Oh no, he was proposing that we go hang out with her on a Friday, I think. I don't really remember the details, which is why I should have recorded this video a long time ago. But point is, he just basically said, let's go hang out with mom. And then I was like, sure. We go to mom's place, and then I think for a while I stepped out of the room. It turns out that he asked my mom for my hand in marriage at that point, and I loved that. Like, it was such a beautiful thing for him to include my mother, who has single-handedly raised me, in this sort of experience or proposal. Like, I think that was the sweetest thing he did out of everything he's done, and he's done a lot of sweet things, you know, but this was like really special and significant to me, that he thought to go to her and just have a chat with her about it. And I mean, they have a cool relationship, but that was really sweet. He didn't have to do that. Yeah, so then I guess that happened behind my back. I didn't know that that was what the conversation was about. I didn't know there was a conversation that was had. This is now later on that I found out that there was a conversation that was had. And then I think the next day, or I remember the proposal happened on a Saturday. I'm not sure whether we went to my mom's house that same week, but I can't remember. Regardless, the Saturday of the proposal, Morgan was like, babe, let's go out for dinner tonight. And then he asked me where I wanted to go. And then I was like, well, there was that Indian restaurant you wanted to try. Let's go there. And then I was like, oh, no, let's not go there. Let's go to 7 West. So 7 West Cafe is the restaurant that Morgan and I had our first date. And it's sort of like, it's a really sweet, like, coffee shop meets Italian restaurant. And it's like one of those 24-hour type of restaurants, kind of makes you feel like you're in New York vibe, at least certainly me. Anyways, it's been my favorite coffee shop and cafe in Toronto ever since I got here. So, or at least ever since I moved back to Toronto. Anyway, so we go to 7 West, and the thing that I should have noticed was that, you know, he got dressed up, he wore a jacket, he wore a shirt, and he was looking like really like, yeah, like date nights express kind of thing, because he's not a jacket and shirt guy. I mean, he wears suits to work, but when it's like outside of work, he just wears t-shirts and jeans and running shoes. Like, he's more of that kind of guy. So for him to wear like a shirt, a jacket, and like I mean, he was wearing jeans and you know, dress shoes or whatever. I was like, damn, like we're just going to Seven West. I mean, it is kind of cute and all, but okay, let's do this. So anyways, go to the restaurant. And then when we got to the restaurant, we were just chatting and like having laughs and everything like that. And then we ordered our food came. And then when our food came, just before we started eating, he's like, oh, before we start eating, I have something that I'd like to ask you. And then in my mind, everything went slow-mo for that phase of time. Like I actually was just like, I saw this guy stand up, I saw him drop, and then like I don't fully remember what he said, to be honest, because I was just in a daze. It was the last thing I was expecting to happen, certainly on that night. And so he's on his knee, and then I just remember being like, yeah, you know, yes, you know. And then I was like pulling him up because it's awkward when someone is on their knee, because it feels great, like it feels so good, but it also feels like there's something about it. It's like a compliment, like when someone compliments you and then you're like, oh no, please don't. Like that's the feeling that I got when he was on his knee. And I remember just asking him to get up, and like she was like, yeah, beautiful. I said yes, I kissed, and then so movie-ish, everyone in the restaurant just started clapping and everything, and I was just like, ooh, you know, I couldn't even eat my dinner that night, and because I was I was so stunned. And yeah, like I just was in a state of shock the rest of that night. And I remember going into the subway and we're getting back home, and then there's this woman who looked like she had had a long day herself, that like she's like, dude, I'm just on my way home kind of thing. But I was just like, look, I'm engaged, we're engaged. You know. And then she was like, yeah, happy, congratulations. Like, but she wasn't like, she wasn't where I was at, like in terms of like, I was like, wow, this is amazing, this is crazy. But then she was just like, oh, congratulations, you know. I was like, geez, someone's had a bad day. Anyways, but anyway, so I remember that from that night, and I was really, really happy. And I think this whole process, like even announcing my engagement to people, took me a while to do, because I think I stayed in a trance for a while, because it's like, it's such a shock to have never planned to be engaged and then you get engaged. Like anyone who knows me knows that I've not ever been like a relationship person. Like I'm more of like the work person than the relationship person, if there's ever like a clear split. So yeah, so it's funny or strange, or it's kind of unusual for me to feel like this is like a new life that I'm in. I'm very happy about it, and I'm so excited for like just growing into this new place that I'm going to. I could not have planned for it at all. I think that like, you know, like I think about how, for me, I mean, I've never been like a wedding person either. Like I've never thought about getting married. I always thought I would be one of those people who lives with their significant other for, you know, ever, like kind of common law but not married legally type of person. I just always thought I'll be that person. So to see myself here is so like, even now, mind blow. Every time I look at my hand, I feel very like, how? But that being said, I also know that I have had people in my life before who I could have probably gone down that path with, but I didn't. And it's because they're not Morgan. Like I feel like Morgan he's such a special person, and the person that I need to be my life partner, because, you know, I love him and I know that he loves me, first of all, as a start. And I think I think he complements who I am so beautifully. And he's just easy, he's funny, he's just a light spirit. And I love hanging out with him. Like we have so much fun together. So as a friend, he's someone who I can totally stand and I would want to hang out with, which is something that I've not often felt in dating. So it's such a beautiful feeling to have have met someone who is like a friend, but then I happen to be super attracted to him as well. So I don't know, I'm happy. Yeah, so that's pretty much how that happened. Oh, the ring itself, the ring is really pretty. I love the ring. And what I like most about it is that it's a lab-grown diamond from a local company here in Canada. So I told him, because he knows I'm in the whole social change thing, I was just like, yeah, I don't really want a blood diamond, blah blah blah. Like in past conversations we talked about this, and so he found this shop that grew a diamond for us, I guess. So yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, I really like my ring. It's so sparkly. Like I never thought I could wear something this sort of blingy, but it's so pretty. I love it. It's now like a normal part of my hand now. Yeah, so what else? Yeah, so we're planning our wedding. So we're getting married this fall, and I honestly haven't super planned much. I should have planned a lot by now, but we do have our venue and I have my dress. That's about it. We don't really know anything else at this point, just because it's been busy. Like I started a new job a few months ago, and I also am in school. You guys know that, I think. And so yeah, so my life has been a bit crazy and I've been traveling, so it's just been hard to plan a wedding. But that being said, we definitely have a date, we have a venue and all that type of stuff, which is the most important part. And then we'll figure out the rest of the stuff this month, I hope, and send out our invites and such. But anyways, that's a different video, that's a different story. So that's where I'm at now, and I'm very excited about being engaged. I can't wait to be fully a wife to someone. I kind of feel that way already, but it's just really cool to kind of like formally commit to someone in that way, and for someone to do that for you as well. Like there's something so sacred about that. And I'm not a religious person, but I really just see the sacredness in that. Like I see the beauty in that commitment. And even culturally, like, you know, being Shona, like I think, yeah, there's something really symbolic or special about that commitment when two people decide to do that. So yeah, so I feel lucky for us, and I feel like we're both lucky to have met each other when we met each other. And I don't take it for granted at all that some people live their whole lives and they never get to meet someone who makes them feel the way he makes me feel. So yeah, it's so nice. It's beautiful. I'm just saying, go out there and get some love, you guys. It's worth it. Anyways, I'll let this video end now so that it's not super long. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. If you have been engaged, or if you've ever planned a wedding, please let me know what I should be thinking about right now, like in terms of everything. What was the hardest thing in your planning your wedding? And what advice, yeah, what's the one piece of advice that you wish you had when you planned your wedding, is what I'd want to know. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.